Welcome.
Hello, welcome to Bible Without Boring. So we are Esther chapter 2. Last time we clarified that the name is Esther and not Esther.
Were you saying Esther?
Yeah. So we've got Esther chapter 2. Esther. Does it matter that much?
It does.
Okay. Well, Esther sounds...
Just Esther.
Esther. Okay, the more you say it, the weirder it sounds.
Yes, it is starting to sound very strange.
Esther.
You're putting the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable.
In fact, we'll be talking about Esther's name and where it originally came from today.
Mm-hmm.
So, and also, before we start, I pose a question. I would like to pose a question about the Bible today.
Mm-hmm.
When everybody was really scared of Goliath, wasn't Goliath just a 9-foot looking person that was a giant?
You ever met a 9-foot person?
No.
No.
But
not to mention, he was malicious. He was hell-bent on war and, insulting the king of the Israelites, the God of the Israelites.
But armies of thousands or greater against one evil 9-foot person.
Was it an army of thousands?
I mean,
Under
the
Saul?
Israelites at least had 1,000 military soldiers, I'd be guessing.
You'd be guessing. I don't know. I don't know what it looked like under Saul.
I don't know. People were so freaked out over this 9-foot person. Did he have some,
It
super
wasn't
skill?
just a 9-foot person. It was the Philistines who came with a weapon of a giant who was also...
Kill the giant, then kill the Philistines.
Well, they weren't confident in their faith.
Yeah, that is actually a good point. They weren't. They weren't at all.
And also, if they did not fear, then we wouldn't have a good story.
True. True.
Anointing David as king.
Yeah, speaking of that, we also had we were watching the King of Kings movie the other night, and it was
It was really good.
we were thinking, did God just put it on Judas's heart so his will would be done?
Right. That's a hard thing to kind of grapple with.
Yeah.
You know what, though, also, since you mentioned The King of Kings, which was a really good movie, I just found out that they have an animated Chosen
Oh, yeah,
show.
yeah, I heard about that. It's on Prime. Might as well watch it sometime.
Yeah, I want to watch it with the girls.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would. So, anything to say before we dive in?
No, I'm super excited to read Esther chapter 2.
Okay, because you're going to be reading it.
Okay, because I have some questions when we get there about her beauty regimen.
That's a good question. Yeah, are you ready?
I am. This is chapter 2.
Let's get it.
After these things, when the anger of King Ahasuerus, are you calling him Xerxes?
Xerxes also.
Had subsided. He remembered Vashti and what she had done and what had been decreed against her. Then the king's attendants who served him said, "Let beautiful young virgins be sought for the king." Let the king appoint overseers in all the provinces of his kingdom, that they may gather every beautiful young virgin to the citadel of Susa, to the harem, into the custody of Haggai, the king's eunuch, who is in charge of the women, and let their cosmetics be given them. Then let young lady who pleases the king be queen in place of Vashti. And the matter pleased the king, and he did accordingly. Now there was at the citadel in Susa a Jew whose name was Mordecai, the son of Jair, the son of Shimei, the son of Kish, a Benjamite, who had been taken into... What's that?
Shimei? The son of Shimei? You know
Mine
who
says
Shimei is? Yeah, mine does too. You know who Shimei is?
Tell me.
If you look at Samuel, he's a man who cursed King David.
Oh.
He cursed King David. Remember when we were doing the first episode? King Solomon told him,
Oh, yeah.
If you go back and listen to the
Because he went back and
episode,
killed him, right?
Yeah, he told him, you have to stay out of the border of Jerusalem.
Yeah.
And then he went into the border of Jerusalem and he got killed. Yeah,
That's
guy.
right. Oh, good recall, man.
Yeah.
Who'd been taken into exile from Jerusalem with the captives who'd been exiled with Jeconiah, the king of Judah, whom Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, had exiled. He was bringing up Hadassah, that is Esther, his uncle's daughter, for she had no father or mother. Now, the young lady was beautiful of form and face, and when her father and her mother died, Mordecai took her as his own daughter. So it came about, when the command and decree of the king were heard, and many young ladies were gathered to the citadel of Susa, into the custody of Hegai, that Esther was taken into the king's palace, into the custody of Hegai, who was in charge of the women. Now, the young lady pleased him and found favor with him, so he quickly provided her with cosmetics and food, gave her 7 choice maids from the king's palace, and transferred her and her maids to the best place in the harem. Esther did not make known her people or her kindred, for Mordecai had instructed her that she could not make them known. Every day Mordecai walked back and forth in front of the court of the harem to learn how Esther was and how she fared. Now when the turn of each young lady came to go in to King Xerxes after the end of her 12 months under the regulations for the women, for the days of their beautification were completed as follows: 6 months with oil of myrrh, 6 months with spices and the cosmetics for women. In the other version it said balsam. The young lady would go into the king in this way. Anything that she desired was given her to take with her from the harem to the king's palace. In the evening she would go in, and in the morning she would return to the second harem, to the custody of Shashgaz, the king's eunuch, who was in charge of the concubines. She would not again go into the king unless the king delighted in her, and she was summoned by name. Now, when the turn of Esther, the daughter of Abihail, the uncle of Mordecai, who had taken her as his daughter, came to go into the king, she did not request anything except what Hegai, the king's eunuch, who was in charge of the women, advised. And Esther found favor in the eyes of all who saw her. So Esther was taken to King Xerxes to his royal palace in the 10th month, which is the month Tebeth, in the 7th year of his reign. The king loved Esther more than all the women, and she found favor and kindness with him more than all the virgins, so that he set the royal crown on her head and made her queen instead of Vashti. Then the king gave a great banquet, Esther's banquet, for all his princes and his servants. He also made a holiday for the provinces and gave gifts according to the king's bounty. When the virgins were gathered together the second time, then Mordecai was sitting at the king's gate. Esther had not yet made known her kindred or her people, even as Mordecai had commanded her. For Esther did what Mordecai told her, as she had done when under his care. In those days, while Mordecai was sitting at the king's gate, Bigthan and Teresh, 2 of the king's officials, from those who guarded the door, became angry and sought to lay hands on King Xerxes. But the plot became known to Mordecai, and he told Queen Esther, and Esther informed the king in Mordecai's name. Now, when the plot was investigated and found to be so, they were both hanged on a gallows, and it was written in the book of Chronicles in the king's presence.
So, that's the chapter.
Yeah.
So, getting into notes.
All right.
So,
do I want to pose my question now, or should I pose it later if it comes up organically?
We should probably do it when it comes up organically.
Okay.
One thing I would like to say, we don't have an end stinger. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah, it totally does.
A stinger for the end? We don't have one.
No, we don't. That's
No.
okay.
Oh. Yeah, it's fine. Whatever. I mean,
what happens to a man?
Yeah, what happens to a man?
That's not the end of it, you goofball. With whom the king is well pleased.
Oh yeah, who is the king well pleased with at the end?
No, what happens to a man? What happens? That's the question that's posed. This is what happens to a man with whom the king is well pleased.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Haman. What happens to the man? No, the other, like...
Right, what happens? Wink, wink. What happens to a man with whom the king is well pleased?
Yeah. Honestly, Mordecai even deserved more. I mean,
It's just funny how it all goes down, but I don't want to jump ahead because it's a really funny part of the story.
Yes, it's very funny. But we'll have a really good time breaking that one.
Do me a favor and do that chapter with me and not Dad.
If we have you available, yeah. All right.
Make it so.
I'll think about it. Wait.
Yeah, rude.
I'll make it through. I'll think about it if we get to do 3 more episodes this week.
I cannot promise 3 more episodes.
2 more episodes.
I cannot promise 2 more episodes. Let's move on with your notes.
So I don't remember if I said this in the first one, but when I think I might have, but I'm gonna say it anyways because we haven't really discussed this with you. So if we were like, Judah was a disaster area. Like all of Israel was just gone.
Well, is this after, oh my gosh, is this after Jeremiah, right?
This is after Daniel.
Yeah, okay, so they've been taken to Babylon and King
Nebuchadnezzar
and
yeah, but
so Judah's been decimated and rebuilt a few times.
Yeah, but Persia takes Babylon into captivity and is allowing the Jews to go home. But Tom Bradford says if we were to put a percent on it, it would be 5 to 10%.
Of the Jews went home to Judah.
Well, it was a
bit of a.
yeah.
It was a decimated land. It's like,
and plus, this was their home.
Going back to Louisiana after Hurricane Katrina or something. It's completely having to be rebuilt.
Mm-hmm, and they didn't want that. So, actually, a study in 2014, only half of the Jews are actually in Israel. Yeah, because they're just like such a scattered out people. Because who would want to go back to Israel to get taken back into captivity in like 10 more years?
You're talking about back then.
Yeah, but still, in 2014 there was a study.
Oh.
And literally.
I don't know.
Only half the Jews.
Anything about that.
Yeah, but half of the Jews are in Israel right now. Only half of them.
It's like immigration and things.
Mm-hmm,
interesting. Yeah. Oh, do you mean of like the world's population of Jewish people?
Yes.
Oh, interesting. Okay, got it.
So when it says the king remembers Vashti, which means he regrets what he did, because you weren't here with us last time.
But we've discussed it.
Yeah, but if you weren't here with us last time, the king does something drastic to Queen Vashti. We explain a lot more about it next time.
Last time. So,
go back and listen to that episode if you haven't. What's wrong with you if you haven't? You're going into part 2 before you go to part 1. What is wrong with you?
You can't listen to things out of sequence.
Yeah. I mean, you could.
No, you can't.
No, you can't. It's the law. People, they should make that law on podcasts where it's like, they should just be like, you play part 2 and it's not in your history that you played part 1. You have to play part 1 first. Yeah, I love that.
You must go back and listen to episode 1.
Okay. So now we're going to be talking about names. Like we said, we were going to be talking about names later today. So, Esther.
Just rolls off the tongue, Esther.
Okay. Esther. As a Babylonian name that also is a Jewish name somehow.
Well, her Israelite or like Jewish name was not Esther.
It was Hadassah.
Yeah.
And Esther is a Babylonian name. Ishtar, the goddess of fertility in Babylon.
They do seem similar. I wonder if we Googled that, if that's...
In the pagan world, naming children...
You mean in the Persian world?
Pagan.
Oh.
In the pagan world. Like back then, naming children after gods was customary.
Okay.
Mordecai has, like, no, like...
Hebraic roots.
No.
So I had to look this up because you told me that, and I was like, no, that's not true.
Yeah.
But it's true. Like when you do a quick Google, like Mordecai does not have like an origin. It's not. It's unknown origin.
Really good name to name your kid. I mean.
Yeah, you would think though, like like I said, like that it would be of Hebrew or roots, but
yeah, but Mordecai might just mean Marduka, the way I just said that, but...
it reminds me of Brave. Isn't the bear named Marduk in Brave? Like,
Marduk!
Yeah, that's like what comes up where he yells the bear's name, Marduk! Like, you keep going, I'm gonna look it up.
Okay, well, Marduka, it might mean, but no one knows. And Marduka was a customary Babylonian name. That actually
it's Mordu.
Mordu. That sounds very similar.
Black bear. All right.
We can still say Mordu.
Right? Mordu.
How's it spelled?
Mordu. It's like MOR''DU.
Well, basically, if it was Morduka, that's a play on the Babylonians' chief's god named Marduk. Now, this story has officially played out. Like the story is built up. Now it's going to pick up steam. It's going to start. Because the thing is, an interesting note I had about this chapter 2, that when you watch cinema, there will be, like, Esther and, like, all those girls are being, like, badly kidnapped, but there's, like, no protests on violence or kidnapping like cinema shows.
Not mentioned in scripture.
Yeah, it's not mentioned in scripture.
It's indicated when people, like, do, like, personal translation.
Yeah. But some may have been mad, but a lot of others would have been really happy, because there's a bunch of girls, and they're going to go into a beauty pageant, and one is going to win the Persian lottery. But these girls are going to be treated like princesses. Princesses?
Princesses?
Yeah, they're going to be treated like princesses. Princesses. Princesses.
Yeah, you got it.
Princesses. The more you say a word, it sounds like so weird, like Esther. Yeah, it sounds like that.
All right.
So, that was my interesting note.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Are we going to do this a third
time?
7
girls attended, I don't know if you knew this, but 7 girls actually attended Queen Esther.
If you heard the things that we cut out on this podcast.
I don't know if you know.
Because I said that.
No, I'm pretty sure that I did just now.
She's just being a Haman. You're being Haman because...
Let's go.
Okay. 7 girls attended Esther. 7 girls attended Esther. So, 7 girls...
attended Esther.
That's another 7. That's a 7.
Oh, because you're talking about how the 7s represent the fullness of Yah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So then... Also...
Is Tom Bradford, is he, I know that you get most of your notes studying Tom Bradford's teachings. Is he the one pointing out how often the number 7 appears in Esther?
Yeah.
I see.
I mean, it does.
Yeah.
It's, like, crazy that we didn't notice that.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many 7s. Anyway, the thing was, with around 2 million Jews at that time being in Persia, why didn't Mordecai tell Esther not to tell anybody that she was Jewish? Jews were, like, widely accepted at this point.
And that's funny because I think that the way that the story in Western, like, culture is normally told is that the Jews were persecuted in Persia.
They weren't.
And so, but Tom Bradford again, this is Tom Bradford's perspective.
It's not just it's not just Tom Bradford. It's
right. He's saying that historically they would have been accepted because it was like America, where it's just kind of a melting pot of people.
I mean, it was, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't done a historical study on this.
Well, I mean, if you look, Persia was very, very kind to the Jews. They loved the Jews, and Persia is just about 50 years old at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't doubt it, at least. So, but it's still weird. Either way, why did Mordecai not tell? Because the king didn't care about culture. And either way, they asked for every single girl. So there was going to be some Jewish one. Why did he tell her not to do this?
Yeah, I don't know.
Persian was a modern-day melting pot. And there was, like, I'm pretty sure it was, like, 23 different languages of the laws being written out. I don't remember for sure. But there was, like, 23, I think. So... Mordecai would walk at the king's gate next to the royal harem, what I found a little confusing.
Why did you find that confusing?
The king's royal harem is like the king's private property, and the rules that how people could act around them are very, very, very strict. Touching them would get you, like, 50 years in prison. Like, so long. It was super strict.
Says that, so in my version, it says, every day Mordecai walked back and forth in front of the court of the harem. So it would have been like in like a, like in a yard. You know what I'm saying? He would have known right about in the palace or the capital where the harem was, and it sounds like he was outside in a public space, perhaps.
But still, did he look suspicious?
I mean, again, like, if you're talking about the palace, there would have been many people, and I am, like, totally conjecturing here, but, like, I imagine there would have been people at the gate of the palace. That's why, you know, there were the 2 guards there, and why Mordecai was able to, you know, hear them chatting, and
True.
I imagine that it was a busy place of business, and visiting the king, and, you know, records, and
he could
treasury,
call for you.
and, well, but, like, you would go to the palace for, you know, I imagine as if it was the capital. I don't know. Again, I'm conjecturing here.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I mean, different opinions. It's always nice.
Well, again, it would need to be researched.
Yes. So, each of these finalists in this beauty pageant spend a night with the king. Yeah. So, and they're allowed to take gifts or whatever. More evidence of them not being treated, by the way. But they spend, and whichever one, if the king finds some of them pleasing, they'll be asked for again. But either way, the others wouldn't be virgins anymore.
Well, it doesn't say, one of the versions said he went into the king, and the other one says that they spent the night with the king. Like, they went into the king's room in the night and came back in the morning, indicating that they kept him company to some capacity. Some unknown capacity.
But still.
Right. I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying it's not specific, but again, we can ascertain.
But this kind of does. But if they would still be the king's concubines.
Mm-hmm.
And even if they did somehow make it out of the royal harem, because, I mean, their life would be really boring, because the king would, like, hardly ever call for the concubines.
Mm-hmm.
So they'd just be sitting all day. And even if they did make it
spoiled
out...
and looking pretty.
Yeah. But even if they did get out, no one would want to marry a concubine.
Mm-hmm.
So... And... Then there's this side plot where the 2 guards try to assassinate Xerxes.
Mm-hmm.
What I don't really have that much thoughts on. Do you?
No. It also, it doesn't say why either. It just says that they had a plot to do it. I wonder where their scheming came from.
That's a good point. Why?
Right.
I mean, you must have a really good reason to have the audacity to try to assassinate.
Well, and we can see that
they're
his wise men or whatever they were, his counselors, were also kind of skeevy, because they're the one who was like, you should get rid of Vashti, and then he's mad, so they're like, what are we gonna do? Like, we made him mad, and now we need to make him happy.
The
and
wise men are geniuses.
Well,
they are. They're very much.
But you see, they try to maintain some sort of power within the palace, and so maybe the guards, maybe there's something there. I don't know.
Yeah, so you said you had some follow-up questions.
Oh, I mean, they're just kind of anecdotal. But so in not this version I was reading, but the other version, it said that she was put on so this was very vague. It said they did oil for 6 months and more oil for 6 months. But in the other one we read, it says she was massaged with myrrh oil for 6 months.
Oh.
And then the following months, balsam oil.
What's balsam?
And so it's a tree. It's a resin. And so... One question I had was, like, when we think of these oils, like, in the modern day culture, we think of, like, essential oils.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't use an essential oil as, it's a distilled oil, and it's very volatile. And so I just wonder if it was like some kind of pressed oil or, and so there was just that question. But then also it says that she was put on a special diet.
Yeah.
And I kind of did just a quick Google, and I said, like, what kind of diet would she be put on? And it said, because, she was in Persia, so then she would have probably been wanting to eat clean foods and all of these things. And so it said that culturally it was likely she was fed legumes and seeds and nuts and dried fruits and vegetables and kind of like Daniel, I think, like vegetables instead of unclean meats.
Yeah, again, like, Jews are widely accepted, so they might have, like, gave her, like, some other foods.
Right, and the diet would have been to make her beautiful. So,
I don't think pork makes you beautiful.
Well, no, I'm saying seeds and things of that nature would,
Yeah.
seeds and nuts and legumes and things would have been a
That's true.
beautifying diet.
So,
And it said rich foods, whatever that indicates.
rich foods.
Cheese, maybe.
Cheese?
I don't know.
Cheese would not be rich. Imagine going to a rich palace and eating cheese.
I mean,
maybe.
there are fine cheeses that take years and years and years
Yeah,
to
cheeses
age.
are fine. Well, I'm just gonna say, if we were always on video, people would be really confused on the hand motions that we're doing.
Well, I know we both talk with our hands quite a bit.
Yeah, I wonder where that comes from.
Personal expression.
I don't know. Well,
A family of debaters.
yeah, really. I actually took what's my personality or passion test, you know what I mean, right?
Are you talking about your gifting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're put debater.
Yeah. All right. Any other notes?
No.
Right on. Well, that was really fun. I really
Yeah, it
enjoyed
was.
that episode. Doing this chapter, with you. Chapter 2.
Yeah, chapter
Any
2.
lead-ups to chapter 3?
Did you say you had another one of those questions?
No.
No? Okay, well.
Anything we can look forward to in chapter 3?
Well, why Haman actually wanted to kill the Jews. There was...
Because he was an Amalekite, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, which is like a sworn enemy.
A sworn enemy of
to
God.
the Israelites.
We'll be talking more about that. And we'll be talking about a lot more. I don't know anything particular. But there's a lot of stuff.
So Haman comes into the story then, because I don't think we've seen him yet, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the third one. First words are, sometime later, King Xerxes begins to single out Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite. Agag is the king of the Amalekites, so it's the Amalekites.
Yeah.
And
that's a whole thing.
We're
whole
going
history.
to be talking about...
I hope that you touch on the history of that. Why it's so significant that he is an Amalekite.
We will.
Okay. Right on. Well, thank you for having me on Bible But Not Boring.
Haman, bad guy.
Haman, bad.
He's a...
Mordecai, good.
He's a Craig. Craig's male parent. Yeah, he's a Craig.
Okay.
So, that's all.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for everybody who listens. Bye.
Shalom.
Shabai. We should have something that we say on here. Like,
bye-bye.
Wait, let's think of, shalom.
Sure.
Yeah, we should say shalom next time we get on here.
All
Because we're
right.
just like, hello,
Hello, shalom.
Hello, welcome.